That the lumber was here sikasem. See, I hear sikasem ya. Nyama entito ye. I was here when you see sikasem ye. Yo, a tier for Emrena song. Ya be isikasem ho juma. In name say ba isikasem especially if America ha. Ade ba ko ehu hia pa ye dan. In name say so utimi tutu niema yie na unya dan so a utimi nya kakra free mu. Na ko ba say if you know retire na say ututu niema yie wo dan a ya na ka homa usika so etimi tutu yie. Imposis when you're dying be a wet here we are. And no idea about here, especially a try see a community no. A better try near your way. You are here for in some tea must start here free. Kamuma be 5 minutes now and son must start here free. A kabeboy introduction of here start to see a qua. It's a be family now course. But muma be 5 minutes now you find free her uncle. You say I'm sick no tea dying at all and a sunny man a bibi who here pa. Na emu bebre wonum a dan ne yehu ne ye ne ton kra ehu se ne bisitie enso ye wo manfo a omo wonim die fa ho e wo community mi a omo betimi aboa yen bebre ayi nua ba ko ade ba ko me pe wono se o ya ade a on de o ye very passionate o de ne hu nyina ahye mi so wonim ne kakra wonim se ne osi ye ne niam sitie se wo ni akiri sa ade ne de o di akiri nko ade a wo hu passion a wo ye about it na nyame ya yadom nso sai reta na nya no nkwa kra usua loans so aka ho ntina ma waben wo sa nyama nim na wo experience ti ona every third week of every month bia no ye ne ye ye fan say dan ho nhyehyɛ ye fa yesi kasɛm ho ɛna so ya sa de na ba so sɛ ne mu nyina mu si hu no aminua ma wakɔ aba
ya nua nana that's any the kan ye the asidama high life radio for leadership and management omada roma ene radio ya yi ene mu nyina nti ena ekwan ba
menim sɛ me ana em sɛ me a when yankoi ayi sɛnea osi ɛyɛ fato aso prɛko you know yɛwɔ ha for a while but still no yɛpɛ sɛ ɔyɛ introduction kakra ɛfa ho na obi a afei na wotie first time no ɔho nipa ban a woyɛ ne sɛnea especially wobɔ yɛ community no fato aso ma yɛ na introduction kakra na yɛmfa mfiri hɔ
yo na nantine na said the mekan earlier na yɛdam ase high life radio any management any ma presenters among nyina ɛne sɛ nwumire nso so ma ho kwan sɛ mmemmra ne ani atiefoɔ yɛnuanom na yɛbɛtwetwe nkɔmmɔ ɛmfa ɛdan ho sɛdeɛ nyina anim no nnwoma mmienu ɛna ɛho hia wɔ yɛ nyina abrabɔ yi mu aduane a yɛbɛdi and shelter deɛ de yɛtade yɛbɛda ɛne baabi yɛbɛda sɛdeɛ tie biara na sɛ nipa wonya baabi a wokɔyɛ adwuma ba abɛda nti yɛdam ase sɛ nwumire nso ma ho kwan sɛdeɛ ɛnyina anim no medin ɛde Alex Adomakwe Champon I'm a real estate agent sisi ana mene Samsey Properties ɛna ɛyɛ adwuma in the past This is the 6th year with them. Previously, no, na me Nicholas Williams and the Jumanti. Amiada Roma, me Juma between Maryland and Virginia. Me need any limitation as to where my service end. Baby, since Maryland is so any corner be out from me, meba na so person will turn down you, so person will to or rent you residential commercial. I said in an kind so alone so Amiada Roma. You over 10 different loan officers from different background or mama very good interest rate and nyoma nti na sada masibi for the opportunity say enyumre so yemra na yemedi ho nkomo ti yema atiefo nyina so akwaba
yo yenya edase bebre enua bi mu start ba so tino mehwe se meye hu ba before then no mema wo wa start aka bibia fa the rate dan situation tsc and ye the best start the bia be my update to my update send ye mortgage abccc ne the way whatever it is no say update bia wo bia no dan ho etesen you see share bosumi ni there changes bebre aba say dan situation city no every day bia you could be no changes so my update kakra na yenhwe se ne city
na medasi wanu amni otifo. It currently now I will start with in terms of inventory, right? Which is if you are do a war market, so we pursue to fear make existing homes because new homes
yo bro bro mami jaw na yenua bi aba so na o my on fa the question bra me pacho ye fro say we din baby free untie kakra nsa yo okay any okay yo yen koso bro koso
right. And this is we want to start with a few because apart from say other things you could talk about knowing the state of the home housing market, is a very important. And now we talk about in terms of say in terms of supply. Now when you compare where we are from same time last year and this year, I would say around this time there has been a little bit of improvement in terms of home supply. Not counting a new home. Because a new home the
me say I say first no na I say supply no form say the I say basro kakra nyese bia aye pede ba at least okay
no yes we are still below the volume, right? Because in order say we say we have a full supplier by definition now in America here now or see any homes are existing home near 6 months supply, right? That means some supply and they say 6 months you feel enough you bet me more person to feel no be at all in the next 6 months. So as you and I are talking now, it dipped last year now around this time, it dipped to like 3 months supply. As this year, because I would safely say I come up close to 4 months supply, right? Until gradually if you are then about market. But this statement so I make answer so it cannot be a general statement for the whole United States because real estate is all about local, right? It's state by state. Even the American crown, your Virginia, Maryland, DC crown, and Potembiana, every zip code situation is different. Just making one zip code might have 4 months supply, but even one zip code even will not have 2 months of supply. But mechanic say now I'm just making like general assessment as to where we are. Say inventory has improved, but particular zip code might be different. And you can also look at certain part of the United States, a zip code that because 6 months supply, no, they have it because supply and demand. The more in terms of the local economy, how a Jumasam eco year, people are getting new jobs, getting promotion, and so forth in terms of migration. And those are the things that also affect in terms of how desirable people want to move to certain location. And it is not secret to say where you and I we happen to be, which is the DMV area now. In the country now, is one of the desirable area in terms of everything, due to the fact that we have the central government, between the two states, always our economy look stronger compared to most part of United States. And
United States.
that it is that on the inventory side. But the other good news also for sellers, they said this time around, almost more fear, more person, more tona, it's also a good time in terms of being able to sell it for a top dollar, right? Because over the years, our home prices have gone up. Just say everybody that what to fear from after the COVID now, ever be seen now. Just people are sitting in equity. I know, say, depend on some of them, people even have doubled their homes. And I always use one community, I mean, name him, oh, Woodbridge. There are listings there, and then some of the homes go for 800,000 or more. In the last 0708, people who were able to get some of these foreclosures, initial sales, they purchased them for 300, 350, 400,000. And so some of these homes even have doubled or more. And so the good news is that more ton, so it is time you can sell it for a top dollar. You can make a profit out of it. And then also now, even if you want to upgrade, people are becoming landlords, right? That means that during the COVID days, they lock lower interest rate. And rather than selling it, they have opportunity to say, so or upgraded themselves, they are able to rent it for a top dollar. They even get some kind of extra they can use to support their new mortgage and answer whatever they want to use. So overall, no, that is where we are with the market and the new construction as well. I think it's their new construction community, some of the community counties now, they are doing very well in terms of how soon they are able to, produce the permit. Because new construction, there are few factors that, determine, the turnover, which is number one, how soon a county can release the building permit. And then two, supply materials. But the good thing is that now, after the COVID days now, yeah, we know the COVID is there, but it's not, hampering in terms of supply. Now the supply is good. In terms of the builders now, in terms of supplies, now they are good. But one of the challenges they are getting is some of the counties now, Uber's a whole county probably an issue permit. Into a sign a contract, I have a client. This home is almost 9 months, almost in me, because the permit is delaying, right? That is one of the challenges in the new construction. And one of the problems that is also affecting the supply of the homes. And they say, if now, no, because of the, historic lower interest rate, and if people don't want to trade in their lower interest rate, which is either they don't want to pay more for their new home or even they want to rent it out, they want to buy. But one thing also can say there's a shortage of new construction community, right? So typically, say, for instance, when you look at Northern Virginia, now where new construction is taking place a lot is the number one county in the world, which is Loudoun. Loudoun, you don't lack new construction in Loudoun. Everywhere you go in Loudoun, they are building. But the downside is that Loudoun is super expensive. And so that is a challenge right there. From condo to mansions, they are all building. Every building is building over there. But prices is driving people out. And so when you look at that, the same thing, Fairfax in shed any land, be brave. Until now, the Abansas are sick of craving and baby no makoto, no almost a few homes, no the boat. Same thing with Arlington, Falls Church. You can name them. All those places is choked. Even Almighty Prince William, which is supposed to be the second largest county in Northern Virginia now, they also have the same problem. And when you look at currently, Prince William, the whole Western Hemisphere, like Manassas area, it's only few new construction that is coming. And community can see pie, actually, that's new community actually they see with amenities. Ube adjust as kakra, adjust as kakra, and that is being a challenge. We call Eastern Side. The only community that is currently underway is in that area, a big community is Potomac Shores, which is also very, very super expensive, right? And so when you take that thing out, the whole Eastern Prince William, there's no any single family townhome big community in our home other than pocket of land or small condo, few townhomes. And that is one of the challenges and also happen in terms of the new construction. Maryland, on the other hand, is different. When Maryland is the same thing. If you can spread your wings, right? Because of most of our listeners are within the DMV area,
DMV area.
I don't want to stretch it so far. So Maryland, when you go places like Frederick, now Frederick past Montgomery has become another frontier in Maryland, a young, affluent, who want to get nice but inexpensive brand new home. They are going towards, and then certain part of Anne Arundel County, right? And then you also go to PG and Charles County. They also have a lot of new construction going on. But other than that, the central Maryland, like Virginia, said the also one more Montgomery, any those kind of county Howard County, very expensive. Omu ni asase. Nti kakra bi a yebenya na near the premium ye the atoso. Nti that is one of the challenges that we are facing in the new construction, even in terms of supply chain, what is happening.
We are done. Dan, thanks for your contribution. I say your friends in Fredericksburg is even choked now. It's filling up. So yeah, who say everybody now those places in now fill up. I'm saying na I'm for some person muti senior and yamasi koka crans and start to say on my way. Yes, started said what are the common questions I could down bisa. What are the common questions? Me first one me fan say before say I'm for best started your questions at two. Open the questions to now I'll say untimi free. But the numbers need be bregu ho and I'll be to me YouTube, bit me the chat. Baby will be able to me at the afraid, bit me afraid WhatsApp. Bit me afraid Skype, bit me afraid friends saying, bit me at the friends saying, wait, we chat to Facebook and YouTube. Baby access to how bit me I get in touch. To a question be na said well bit me link na e be buy no bit me join the link no so na odi two. The need na ba hanom. Bro, first question is how much should I save for a down payment? Let me say a tax as we be here. About me fat chat, me maybe another one so will be a person who dial in for this chat your friends and they are two chatting to see beating their dialing beating a journey or hano. Yanko bro.
That's a very good question because in terms of down payment, like I always said that they are
before you will be question by and once I will say which is better, condo or a townhome.
In terms of condo or townhome, they are all good homes, but the difference is what is a condo? A condo is basically a lifestyle. If I say a lifestyle, in the olden days, you can't condo and not nipa just one level apartment kind of way. But now, definition of condo has changed, which is a lifestyle. In that condo is a home. The association maintain all the outside, including roofing, siding, omona doho, omona eti snow bibia. Basically, condo now you own inside and they own outside. And that's the reason why most of the time, we be in the most cases now condo fees are very expensive compared to a townhome or a single family. That is basically the difference. It's a lifestyle. I know even something 55 community, a single families, they have a condo ownership. That means a preference. But one of the things you also have to ask yourself and they say, what is your long-term goal and short-term goal? Do you want to invest in a HOO versus investing in a home, right? Which means you can have a condominium, maybe a condo, Alexandra, Oh, be say, oh, 3-bedroom condominium Alexandra, me pay 100% metna F. I know say landmark area, 3-bedroom condominium, but me to about $800 condo fee a month, right?
Yeah.
And some of them can go even 1,000, 300, 400, 500. So the question is, do I want to invest in the home itself, right? Because let's assume so could to 400,000 a condo. Condo also has its own disadvantages. Apart from the lifestyle, let me delve into the condo. What are some of the downside to condo? One of the downside to condo is say condominium. By virtue of condo now, it attracts a little bit of adjustment in the interest rate. So let's say two people move to fee, with the same credit score, same down payment. Say you can say the town home and I said true single family no 6.5 today's marketer. Most lenders on average they will adjust your condo no by maybe 1/8 of a point or a quarter of a point. So that is one of the disadvantage. Condo always carry a little bit of adjustment in terms of interest rate, either 1/8 or a quarter of a point. That is one. When it comes to condominium, now, like I said, that would to 400,000. Now would you baby $400,000 in condo fee? The condo fee yet they are maintaining outside. One more to take grass near the but I don't know the new does it really build your portfolio with years say everyday equity? Probably now. I know where they're going to maintain outside for you. But you can say so be so single family town home. Now or no koto fee beye ABR for let's say 460. One was $60,000 more in mortgage or but another is building wealth for them, even though they maintain outside. But when you look at how much of a buying power they are getting now, over the years now, they are going to build wealth over what I would call condominium, because most of who no see can be now is just going to the condo fees, especially when it's high.
Lambert, hold on. Why? Pastor Koso, where we are now?
These are some of the things I think that a negative in terms of condo. No? One, the higher interest rate, not as high, but if the condo is higher, right? I mean, if a condo fee is maybe 150, 200, and some of them even 300, that depend on the amenities and the area is justified. But some of them, no, there's no justification for what they are charging you for, other than say ABR, it covers your water, which the average condo knows how much water are going to use, maybe $50, $60. And so these are some of the things that nuances are when you deciding between condo and a town home, you have to factor it in. And that is one of the things. There are a whole lot of things, but when it comes to individual one by one, we can delve into more. But these are some of the upfront negativity that is associated with condo. But like I said, now, regardless now, it's a lifestyle. Some people, they don't want to do anything, and so be it. They are happy and they are good with the condo.
Dick, say it's is it advisable to get our own inspector to inspect a new construction or allow the builder to select an inspector, even though there could be a conflict of interest or just a person say it could be a conflict of interest. To be to just kakra or say is it good say is it advisable say inspector, especially like when it comes to new home construction? I know if you say if you wanna okay, go ahead.
Yes, Nick, I mean, thank you for the question. That's a very good question. But the question to your answer is no, right? And I don't even know which builder even will put that liability on themselves, right? I know it's a new construction. Thank goodness, in this country, there's no shortcut from the county and then the internal auditors within even because remember, so we new construction site. It's not you see ABR, unless on a developing community. I don't want to market any builder here. Let me use the word Alex.
No name.
Alex, Enna, air building community. But Alex now, you see, said, Nana, a contractor, or no OC Danibi. Kojo, and so AC Danibi. Nick, and so AC Danibi. And you see, say, Alex, AC community, and Alex, no contractors. No, it's not true. There are subcontractors. One will sit down on behalf of Alex. Into me as developer now, maybe one auditors. You sit down at every stage, they will come and inspect. The county also have their own inspectors. They will come and inspect at the house at every level. And so, and then they come to the private inspector. That's why we use the word private inspector. If the builder is recommending somebody, how does it become a private inspector? Then we call it the
so
private,
yeah.
we call it the builder's inspector, right? And so
maybe a 1% for maybe a 1% for maybe I'm walking through
and anytime guys know. Internet is why not so high would you?
How idea? No, you have to pay them already. No, so no builders near that already. And no, a county no, and yet and you're employer no or a private.
Yes, and it's a wow independent, which a lot of my clients do. And they hire their own private inspector, right? Okay, no, I inspect it. When they go, are they always going to find something? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. And I always prepare clients say, look, this is what you can hire, but it doesn't necessarily mean say they can find something. But if they don't find it now, it gives you a peace of mind. Say, look, Miano, independently, no, I'm able to verify. Say this way, I've done a good job. And it's not advisable. And I'm here to see a builder or no other catcher or say, Alex, hey, your home inspector, made the name out. No builder will do that.
Yes, so MB on a besides a condo and I say a town home not saying or say thank you and say or I satisfy or now bit me choose Dan and say what I say. Thank you all for your contribution and also questions. I'm say well Lambert or how Lambert so say or Lambert question
okay, Mr. Alex, what job go there?
I don't patch your million answer.
Yeah, madam, where there me were some few questions be it's regarding 720K building. It's a new construction. Now terms are on here. The builder Slender is willing to give me 20K towards my down payment.
Okay.
And now or still 2% towards the closing cost. That means that I'm only bearing 1% with the closing cost.
Okay.
And also say 5.5% of the interest rate. Now my argument said I'm telling
it's also 5%, 5.5% of interest rate, right?
Yep. And I'll 20K towards the down payment, and then 1% or correction 2% towards the closing cost. That means I only bear 1% of the closing cost.
Right. I mean, there are programs.
Okay. But before say Colombians, hold on to say, Dan can be good and very interesting. Or say, Dan the bisa say, advisable say before inspector na, or say, honor he gas calm. That means why yes I didn't be that. And say, or no could be ultimate say, because I'm saying Panoco when we and no say PSKV. And I see a questions be say, and I see a contribution be say, who be bisa, who experience be a winya, I chill to say, yeah, I'll do tuma, yes, a menu and Nasa away. It will be sana ultimate to chat box near your menu and my away, and I see will become a bit me account. Now, boy, how try and Columbia, Janus. Lambert.
And the Lambert question is the builders have different incentive they run on different times, which recently I've used some for my client, right? Because Danisi was almost we and I said if they have inventory homes can range from anything say or mana AC will be by metro and I say be alone are falling apart. And to say if those homes are not moving faster, sometimes they run promotions, right? Recently, I have a VA client, they get 4.99. I have one. Yeah, they just reached out to me, Alex. We're running 5.99, which is a whole 1.5 point less than the market rate, right? The reason they do it, to entice buyers to come and buy their product. So it's there. So it's genuine that they run it. If it's genuine, and then if you have an agent, and then the agent can keep eye on it to make sure, say, sometime, some of these programs they are caveat, right? Then they say the 2%, the way they will craft the language now, you're going to run and say that money, and no one a portion, buy down the rate on your behalf. And in the facial now, it might look like, oh yeah, they are giving me X amount of dollar, right? But when you look underneath now, they are looking around and taking the money from you. And before they realize now, all the closing costs now, you see the amount, you end up, losing the whole closing cost. That means there was no one to begin with, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean that the land bank they might not be a genuine one. Some of the builders, they run the promotion, the Oman Kasano, they already buy down the rate through their own build a lender, and they are still giving that 2% closing cost.
Okay, so it's not like it's too good to be true. It can happen based on maybe few things. Maybe I'm running promotion, maybe a flow, maybe I didn't fall through, and I'll be right? Because it kind of looked too good to be true, especially 5.5, because if you buy down Krana, see the interest rate be one, you sure say 5.5, a good. When was the last time I only 5.5, and I will will be only 5.5 recent?
No, and then if you would hear me remarks now, make just a recent.
I know, but just say when was the last time?
Oh, this is 2 months ago. Okay. And as we speak, one of the builders, I mean, about one of the builders, they have a year. They reach out to me, say, oh, FHA or VA 4.99, and then if it's conventional, 5.5, and they are still giving $10,000 in closing costs. But these are single families, homes that are in the 600, right? So, but when you look at the rate now, that a point less or 1.5 point less, it makes huge difference, and people are able to afford a lot of homes. And so, yes, some builders are there; they are running those promotions from time to time.
Okay, a follow-up question. Incentives, is it the same as sellers, like giving, sellers credit? And are they different?
I mean, so yeah, I mean, seller's credit that seller gives and seller credit that builder gives is the same thing, right? But in terms of the rate discount now, most of the time, builder no more or my prefer lender. And behind the scene, I said they've allotted money to this to buy down the rate. That he give discount, cut down your profit. We are going to give 200,000, 30,000 behind the scenes to reduce, interest rate for the buyers, so they'll be able to buy the homes. So it's the same thing. But some of them, they give what is called flex money, right? The flex money, the trick lies. And then I make just say, no, you have to be very careful. Either so when you agent and answer agent, your agent has to be diligent and see underneath. Because I had a client like that. This supposed to say they're giving him $20,000, but when I look underneath, they were taking 18,500 in fees because they almost high key rate no high, and in order to get lower rate now, he has to buy down point, and with all their fees. So I just point to this family, say, you know what, this people say they are giving you X amount of money, but in technicality they are lying to you. There's no money, and most of my clients at that time now, I shop with outside lenders, and thank goodness we're able to use the outside lender to curtail their hands. And at the end of the day, my client was even to get better rate through them and still kept all his money. Who is representing you and the knowledge level of your agent, is very important. Are our agent same, and do you all have same skill? Different. And are they responsible for your loan? I'll sit here and say 0. Real estate agents are not responsible for your loans. But if you are blessed and you have one who understands loans, who can explain, who can help you to shop and run, now then it become an asset to you.
Okay.
Yo,
my person maybe some last question.
Yo, before my main week kakra.
Okay.
Kia, Renee, and your friends are precious. Thanks for joining. You know how in fact questions yamanimra once a month in yano. Intino your questions via infant me and share so you see a boa you nyina you see a boy community no na ye toa ye buo ne doso sometimes ne nkofo di nkomo a bia ye bubu omoduro no ya na nye kefa nya saa nyema we nu na nke ntimi enu ho nti yen share ne nko ye ma ye community no so no omu de ekoso me bro koso next question.
Okay, with Mr. Alex, I don't say you are why at the end now. Who 3 best builders be always recommend them our clients
Some of the things we have, I'm not going to say it on air. If you have any specific desire need, please reach out to me. I don't have problem. Even if I'm not your agent, you have an agent, I don't have problem. I can mention names for you. But in terms of and this is a public agency, I don't want to.
I got you.
Certain
things. The say the number no you better draw when you are to think to say you kind no I do in and just for the love of our community will be and yes can be free with it is so we an agent who beat me reach out to him so who question be our casa with several times to a question be beat me reach out to him obey away I'm say Dick or boy or hapa dan or say good agents are very vital when they are when they know what they are doing. Thanks for hitting on that. When you're a good agent, be very smooth. Could be some more taught several times as I taught so many times now. Now change agent. Sometimes we'll team who difference no. Your sister Sister Rita, thanks for joining in. Also say single family and townhomes no. Which one is more advantageous? Lambert in jail must still a question be Lambert minimum. And the questions yeah na be millions. Yo, so question be able to say that so yeah the say kakra na wanya na the who be answer. So bro yen ahead na your sister Rita so the no also say the advantageous townhome and I say single family.
Thank you, Sister Rita, for that good question. It's a good question, but at the end of the day, it's just like going back to I just make similar insinuation like the Mekaba condo and a true townhome, right? Mm-hmm. It's a lifestyle and your need. So one is not better than the other. It's all about your need, right? Well, remember townhome because ABR X, Y, and Z, right? And it's a lifestyle. In terms of you have a home, whether a condo, a townhome, a single family. The idea here, or the purpose of our tonight discussion, or every once in a month, the idea here is to promote home ownership among us, right? So that we want to empower ourselves. We don't want people to be left behind, because we realize that in a brown and black community, when you Google it, you realize that we've been left behind in terms of home ownership, because it's beauty. I mean, look at the feeling. Say, oh, Miss Mum, if you even 1 bedroom, I own it. Miss me to feel. We've been to me more many times, or bear maintenance, or be way. That is the proud of being a homeowner. And so at the same time, the family stability, the security is predictable. You can predict what is going to happen in terms of your life when you own a home. And most importantly, in a long term, as you and I know, thank goodness the system in this place. You know that a home grow value with time, even when it comes down. And when you sell it at certain point, some people are going to retire here or they're not going to retire here. But if you rent for 20 years and you go on retirement, I mean, your landlord, if you're lucky, then they'll give you thank you card. But if you want to, I do say
thank you card right here when you be.
Yeah, or then I'm home. Now we picture pictures. Now, what take you security deposit right?
Yeah.
But the serious thing is utofie na say we are. There's no way say at the end of the day, no, when you sit in that home for 5 years, 10 years, 30 years, 30 years quite what you right?
Mm-hmm.
Say I always tell people say we are young now to fee not 30 years what you if you appreciate the value is the same one. What you 400,000 is yours, right? Somebody will argue say, oh, say we here itemization. You see, say, oh, 400,000 home, and I might have paid maybe interest of $200,000, and I say ABA 250. But on the other hand, ask yourself, say, the rent that you are renting, you know, what do you have to show at the end of the day, right? But when it comes to home ownership, at least very beautiful. I feel you are able to write off your mortgage interest rate, you are able to write off your taxes, and at the same time, you are enjoying the home and not to think about it now. Like I said, the profit that comes to you. And one of the things that Nana and I sometimes we disagree is like giving your equity. And there's a who Jessica from bank, right? Nana, me pacho, mami myself, right? So
Let me. No, it's good to disagree to agree. You know, it's good.
Jessica, our bank, let's say, we see personal loaner. If any ever share okra credit, so bet me to yani ade. Any above what is the interest rate the base amount. But the good thing is that if you now work with your man, which Nana will say man fansanka, but say watch those actually most of the time the equity line of credit, the interest rate is consistent with mortgage, interest rate, right?
Interest rate is usually
yeah. Just say equity line of credit, come on 15%. Hey, 15% there, assembly are working, right? And so, you have that, at least a rumor, to me, I could just say, oh, mama, 20,000, mama, 30, which is easy. The bank doesn't second guess you because you have the home and they know you have equity. But no matter how even sharp your credit, if you don't have good income, are you able to repay this 20,000 back? And so the list go on and on and on. And so coming back to Sister Rita's question now, I think it's all about being the owner. It's all preference. That's where I will leave it.
Yeah, so it is all shimwa. Let's say only it doesn't matter saying it's situation city and at least with me only be yeah. So want to turn near their own near na chance that's what the all concern may for free. So at least try as much as say yes, be to 2 year obitimi only. Yo Dick, no boy, I was say, was the rent equals nothing, home equals part equity, and also then now we'll come back in case say be crana, person cashier instead of so be about loan. But I did about who say sometimes you can say rent equals nothing. No, sometimes say say if you can afford to buy a house, and then that I agree with you on that. But we want because sad issues sometimes they always say we are ready. We are ready. We say you will be said say you to be what to see our tiwa or change interest rate performance. And I said dime performance and what to be. So if you are ready, you don't have to be waiting for all those things. So you're ready. Sign money shouldn't come in. You have to go ahead and do it because a bit here, you cannot say this is the time, the best time to buy. This is the best time to sell. In your readiness. It's like I say, my ready so ready, may train Makoto. No. Yeah, me who time I said I come from Ukruma unless the 2008 recession I buy any other. Yo, I'm say another one. So yeah, now what can be before Rita, Sister Rita questions no. Or can be before home. I'm say yeah, time I also for your friend say commercial break. But before then, no, I'm say obey a minute. Said I was now can be say in case say be crying up so kwaji bibi sika kakra free. But at the same time they said you and I say what say equity cry no say be crab call Ghana cry na equity abem the time so na wo kwa. It is a good idea say ye thought dan because you won't be bree your community mindset nyan say as a dan I say men can sense I say I say ATM machine. Is it advisable say base ATM machine and say be try see be pay and mum ye retire mum ya sika nyako because sometimes the ATM machines ya na hadwen because utua de bia wo use can free at the same time so mortgage out and now use cash still be tua sadem you know the question is it that
I think say in the grand scheme of things, you know, yes, Chokron say a good man or a good person leave inheritance for inheritance. What you say? It is in a good way, crowd. The idea here is ultimate of yin say, Bibia ya utuya, Nasa Yamea Wadom, Nasa ma be crana, and cut me trianum de Jawom say a Japadia. Because said ye Ghana, you need me a mamma papamo. Say nye a cromuna, no, because of said the way the system has been created, it's easy for you to access money in. Ghana, ya mamma papamo, you barely hear say Omufi Momaton. Womu di giant. Nti sɛ yɛwɔ akwantu mu nso a sɛbio yɛ mu bebree hɔ nom a nyɛ sɛbio let me say most of us that yɛne anyame ahyira ne yɛwɔ ɔma okurom a yɛnka ho sɛ ɔmo nso ɔmo kurom nie nti the same concept sɛ wɔsi dan wɔ Ghana sɛ ɛnka wote Ghana wosi dan agya wɔma no the same thing so na sɛ wo nso sɛ opportunity de ba nso a
bro you try no yɛnkɔ commercial break ba yɛ ba yɛ de ahyehyɛ so ha why yo yo chief for yaba biem yɛ kan so ne yɛ kan mo sɛ High Life Radio Kente Dinner Dance no ɛba so Saturday the 19th of October in nim sɛ ne yɛde bi esi no yɛbɛwɔ Hilton so you know yɛn ticket the price no $100 wopɛ sɛ nya ticket sisi a obetumi afrɛ 703-828-7471 Kente Dinner Dance no yana nya agro kra Saturday 19th October this year trying to make sure so we'll be making. Yo, bro. Anyway, MC beto aso ha. You beto aso ha. Yo. Tiamsa ne ka. Okay. Sister Rita asked the question ba kwa saba. Lambert say uti mi na sister or question abitim di aba. Yo, you share now can be fa senior said okano. Hu ye ki krum de ki edan de ntompo. And so yaba ha ne adwin na ne say ase ye machine bi ayi. Nti mpacho beto so na ka wi ayi de sister Rita question so ato so.
That's na say asan about you. And to say the America now where I left off now. So America say you see ne papa bi agya japade e de man ne ma ene na sefo. The same thing the same say you know like so we safe to say you can treat then say you know fi Ghana. And the same theory you see dan edija ye more Ghana na. Yesu so abia yensu so ye woma wa hana. The same theory na say to fi so ose yensu ye di shetim so oh ye tua dan no na say wi a ye di agya ye ma. And that is one of the things that we also have to begin to develop and have that idea and not just one. Okay, so me who beso am to we na eche mesa me to ato ba kon am dey high na me mo nya fie ba kon mo nya fie mienu. It's a good idea. If we have that mentality say you see dan egu Ghana me yema no so dia ahanso so no se na me ahodi ne ye dwuma eno so etua na ye gya ho ma yema eno so beboa wo.
Yo. Say we question back one is study by say what is the difference between conventional loan and your friend saying conventional loan and FHA loan, which one is better? Okay, what's the difference? No, we also which one is better. Until between a difference, no, nothing, yeah, better no so I'm saying Kenya bad.
Okay, I mean simple. No, the difference between FHA and conventional loans. No, conventional is private loans. FHA loan is government loans. Utofia, whether two of them, so one for 20%, and to us it requires PMI and as a private mortgage insurance. And so, but the difference between the two is in terms of cost, upfront cost, FHA always comes with an upfront cost versus conventional. In that, FHA has administration fee, which is 1.75 of the purchase amount or the loan amount. On the other hand, conventional doesn't have that fee. That is one of the disadvantages that comes with it. But also now, FHA loan, which is the government loan now, it's also friendly to people with a lower credit scores. And the terms are pleasant. And so in exchange, the government charges you the first term fees. In terms of long term, one of the things that sometimes it also associated with the FHA is a conventional loan. So who to fee? Now let's say whether zero down and after the other once the home value goes up to 20% equity, and I say what you are loaning down, and I say what if in alongside next be about so me discuss you kotwasia say conventional loan once you get that 20% equity that mortgage insurance that was built into it originally, that mortgage whether 100, 200, 300, the bank stop charging you. Not same with FHA loan. FHA loan, once you originate it and there's MI, so one refinancing to conventional, the MI stays with the loan forever. The only exception is that if you're using the FHA loan, now with it 10% at once. So the 10% to us there, then the mortgage insurance is going to be on the home for 11 years before it falls off. But so one for life. It is one for 10% and twice a FHA alongside the credit scores cost one financial conventional. That MI, whether 200, 300, 400, no matter what it is, it stays with the loan forever. And that is one of the disadvantage with the conventional in terms of even its longevity. But the other side also is true, which means this law was acted in 2014. Prior to that, OBIA or FHA loan that was originated before 2014. this new law doesn't apply to them. Into almost at a point, when almost hit 20% in equity, they can still call the bank and say, hey, you know what? Remove the MI from it, which will be our only home if you be before 2014. I have the feeling say they should have enough equity to catch up to 20% with COVID days, how home prices grew. And as a speaking of that as well, you can't and you my line so and answer my betting later. So conventional no. Would the be at 10% to us here, 15%, and now 5%. What if you match 5 years, 6 years, 7 years? Not mortgage insurance. So it's about time I will for phone, no after bank, no. And as I will share term out of no other area, I will say value CC and currently saying a year to no. That's when you're 20% over to me after bank, and the bank will after mommy nice. Rather, when they're able to see the area, no one can say, oh, you are right. We are stopping the MI. Obi also, if they are in doubt, they will send an appraiser, which the appraiser you are going to pay it. But if you are going to pay $400, $500 to save yourself,
worth it.
$100, $200, $300 for the life of the loaner, it makes sense. But I can tell you that most of the banks have gotten some banks they know that 20% in the time as soon they just keep quiet and they still taking the MI money. In this case, say okay, find it out. Let's say cancellation they due normal farmer. If you can go back and be able to prove when you hit the 20, you can take them on. Tell them, you know what, this was supposed to stop this time, and you guys didn't. I need all my refund for my MI.
Is it the same as conventional? Is it the same as a mortgage insurance? Say,
yes.
Time no sooner. No man, and say the same. Okay, if you say BFH both sides now the same.
Yes, so anytime you are buying home and you don't bring 20%, you have MI. And that's why I'm explaining. Say conventional MI is temporal. Once you hit 20% equity now, they stop deducting, or you have to call them.
And I'm to say, the same both sides need now. Say if they hit that time, that's a bit more of convention. That's all man can cry. That's a you can let them go back and refund you up to that time.
Yes,
okay.
Because and me educate me to
yes.
And your name will feel Martin 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, no more.
Okay.
Conventional. They should begin to call their bank or NASA or Monsham neighborhood we feel your tone recently. Because I'm on for 20% and twice here, there's likelihood to say with the COVID days.
I appreciate
the home price across they are 20%. This MI need to come off.
Good. Dan say I may be wrong, but I think when one decides to rent, his or her credit will be pulled. When you try to purchase a home, your credit will be pulled. So if one will pay $2,200 for rent, while a mortgage will cost $2,000 a month at the outskirts of the city, I'll go for the house. This is for those of us in Texas because we have huge land area. I don't know Texas. So more the land no cry the second no land no so. Some no can make sense. Just do out the city na maybe out here 2,200. Ukwaskет kakra so abi abinya dan for wow dia. It makes sense. To me me who say house in this year I pray who be brave. But why you ready? I meant now. So why you ready in Kwadia? Please meant now. Omo silence now. Omo change say interest rate back form and house back form. Baby credit is omo interest rate in the house no back form na omo ka. Please why you ready? I meant now. I did back my house so then say rent here every year biano increasing. Every year be increasing. But so why your mortgage? Na mortgage na 15 years, 30 years. Until that time, no person. When credit were cheery, Ubia may increase, unless a walk away be before say be a quack just as all refinance and abisa. A best stay the same. But so rent here, Ubi fee and also rent apartment na baby sa every year biano yet a crack on. No, and I this time so be a rent name a view. Your Lambert or question be an and I hope sister Rita will question the answer. As the answer is not say with me full follow up be a bit media my then it has be say also would a to so my Gideon, Anan, thanks for joining. We are question BB man, and you are the questions na those bro. The questions na those pa. Okay, into this situation, no. See, a thought that na new home and be sa. Say be say roof because me say roof near the sometimes a hard rain. Yeah, I will see a check who say a BB ya ya oma ya na oma repairs and construction new roof and bibisa or one bibisa na. Excuse me. Bibisa bibi also shana.
But as for the question, but I think that there was a question which was important. I think that this are written in which is the down payment, right? Down payment for the program for loans are there are different type of loans. Some of them are 100%, but to pursue this was here, at least on conventional loan, or your first time buyer, you are required to bring 3% down payment. FHA loan, which is the government loan, is 3.5%. VA, those who are in the military, Air Force, Marine, and other current retired, 100%. Those are the down payment. Speaking of down payments, like I always say now, we also have programs for first-time buyers that are there, depending on who is your agent or where your income falls. Now, for me, on my part, I'm getting a lot of first-time buyers program from different lenders. Some of them as low as 10,000, 15,000, even it can be more, depending on other factors. I have one client through between the builder and other, they realize about $23,000 as a first-time buyer. Just on the down payment at 3%, 3.5%, or anything that you'll be able to do. But there are also 100% program that are out there, but at least on be charge you by a quarter of a point higher than the normal market. And so that is the down payment. And then alongside the down payment, you're also looking at your closing costs, which typically closing cost is between anywhere from 2.5% to a 3% in Virginia. 3% is on the higher side. Maryland closing costs typically is 4%, 6% is on the higher side. And so Maryland pay more closing costs than Virginia. But if you are lucky and it's existing home and the seller want to pay for you, fine, then they pay for you. If not, and it's a new construction, sometimes you also have the new construction community contributing some of your closing costs. But if the seller doesn't pay or the new construction, then also never. And as sometimes the lender also can get what is called lender's credit. And this is where I want to stretch it. There's all kind of deception that is out there. Oh, bank bet your closing costs for free. There's nothing like free. Sanya grant to say the make Nasa a lender's creditor. Lender's credit is simple.
Thank you.
We rate near 6.5. Yeah, push you rate now 7 and 7.5. Na yama usika, now the 2 closing costs. And in that case, don't let anybody tell you, say, oh, bank need to closing costs. No. But some of these programs I'm aware, and they're out there now. Those grants, they are interest rate neutral. They don't raise your rate because they are giving you through as a pool of community shareholders. Individuals are almost they can dump money into a community. Say, for more moderate income people, right? And some of these grants, it's not something that is there all year round. They come and they run out. One of the money I know is consistently there, is some of them that give it through bank. The banks one are there all the time. And I say ABA Virginia housing. Virginia housing is permanent because a taxpayers funding into those funds don't run out. But we have to be very careful as to always say free. You need to make sure that you really let your agent or do your own research. And unfortunately, some agent they are not into all these loan things, so they are still going to refer. So ask the loan officer. And these loan officers, when they know, say,
loan officer so yeah, Juma Momo.
no, it's not necessarily the loan officers work for the relatives, right?
And yeah, relatives, no, but yeah,
but
directors of
the bank, no, right?
Mhm.
And the loan officer also know they want to close on a deal.
Exactly.
And you more can ebe put you off no onka. Obe you super focus here no the brim bram so. And that is why who here say UTA and also betin later. Obeba na you catch the wa yet me breaking it down na obi and take advantage of you and your family.
You and I'm saying what you're saying, American, the American say, the financial institutions, you know, won't mean BTOMO. They hire the best of the best. It's, you know, yeah, then you are it's yeah, then here, the American, so Koto there, when one call, says, see, Makwaye, a rest course, you know, about no about the family. It will be a wabing, especially when it comes to real estate in this animal, will be a experience. No, to me more. Your sister Gloria, all questions you had become one. What question be a obetimi answer obetimi abisa Nancy Lambert what question be a your sister Rita was say most grateful very I'm say about we know your friends say conventional ne FA was what you say now I'm say another was say I think the conventional is better if you have a great credit score I'm say the offer found okay or say I'm say conventional I'm say now person just says oh score ne yeah I'm say conventional ne but at the same time no so
Yes,
at
that
the same
is.
time no so maybe one more who so yie ni ade na betimi adjust so em say you know so ya na because no no scan or form kakra yeah
One of the main the thing is that one of the main reason why a lot of people go for FHA is due to they have a lower credit ratings.
mm-hmm.
But if or sometimes somebody can have a high credit rating, but we to make it $60,000, right? And conventional no because ABI amount with 300,000 loan, but FHA because oh yeah amount ABI 330. Also, so if you now pay a 330 range. You will say, oh, high credit score, but because of the purchasing power, because the DTI now, conventional no, most of the time, sometimes
But so
depending on
DTR no ya no come am for atiase yi
the with debt
akre no
to
sir
income, right? With debt to income, to me, I said, Nanane, Alex, you could fee, you make it 60,000, but Nana qualify for 300,000. But Alex, who car didn't you know? Once I say money 250. What I say? Sometimes no, in terms of conventional no DTI no,
em
limited.
say eyi ne yi your friend say line ne yi kakra nti ka ho ne yi o say senana ne ya bi Alex to dan ya ka ho ne yi kakra
Nanani Alex, you quite to you name make 60,000, right? But because I say Alex Dickent, and I know does you bet me qualify and 300. Near Cassie, Alex 250. And then DTI, okay, would any sika,
debt to income
almost
ratio
almost free ma, wait me to your mortgage. So what did the make say? Did the make an ancestor grow and say net lower credit score, Santa bit my high credit scores. But the thing is say FHA no sometime no more same income now. FHA bit you say you 330. Conventional because you 300. And the AB also pay 330 fee then you have to forgo the conventional no and go for FHA because FHA is giving you more money.
but you
And
need
then yes, because Wamono DTI no, there's more room. They will stretch it out for you. It's not only people with a lower credit scores that sometimes go for FHA, but sometimes in terms of purchasing power,
situation
yes, can push one to how do you call it? A conventional FHA over a conventional no.
all right MC be back to your question and anka ye bisa sana e call you know about roof no
And
Senate say yeah ya na osi ehwe pa ansa na ya to na say even kra no e bibi aduru ne time a o say bi anka say ye repairs wo ho a na say to a die na say nya ne ya die ne ye nyemfa ho
Medas Nana, it's a very good one. You've really asked. And recent days now, one more homeowners, any one way to feed, they realize that insurance premium have gone up, right? It's gone up. They are using this state or more file claims need to punish everybody. And so now the insurance company has made it their mission. Say, roof in your bada. They intentionally hit you with high premium. The idea here, no, they think it's just a matter of time. I'll be back. I'll catch you almost in Sweden and I'm a toy and I'm from a boy, you know, and I hear you toy, you know, refinance into overage replacement. The idea here is that they are trying to punish people who are buying home with the old roof. And now, saying to me, particular, and saying some of the homes are existing home. I make sure I'm very particular. When I see say roof is really, really old, I'll point it to you. Hey, well, did you see the roof? I can tell that where this roof is getting there. Or if even we can't tell the years I reach out to the listing agent if I'm not a listing agent, and so find out how old is the roof. And so yes, roofing is very important. And whenever one is going to buy a home, three things, everything is important, but three things are primary component of the home. You look at it, which is not you, some buyers or some consumers they have insight, which bless their heart. They are able to, in consultation with their agent, they have eyes to see, right? But it's either your agent or you have to go hire an independent inspector after you go under contract to examine the home. There's also what is called even, how do you call it? Pre-contract inspection, which means I've also seen people in the COVID days, when there was a competition now, rather than all kinds of defending under contract now, because if you have a inspection, if you need farmer, into or inspector or inspector need in the chi, into us or but not
inspector call round
or call round.
Okay, too.
And also, I just say inspector and honest opinion about the home. In the agent need to contract no say make any inspection would say at least or insight as to what the home look like. And so the thing is yes, those are very important. If you can see it with yourself, which is the foundation of the home, the HVAC and the roofing. These three major components are very, very important, that either your agent is knowledgeable, they are able to see, or you yourself, or if not, once you go under contract, then you have to pay for private inspector to come and assess some of these things for you. But I think as an agent, if you have agent who is knowledgeable and very sharp, they are even going to point the problem to you, not just necessary to put you under contract. Now, Inspector Becker said there's a problem, whereby at that point, if the seller says, no, me see, I'm selling the home as it is. At that point, they just say, you have to come out of the contract with 450, with 500, 600, Unfortunately, are you waste? Now you have to come out of the contract. Yes, it is very important that you keep eye on the roofing if you are going to buy an existing home.
Okay. Sister Sophia, with them, this is our question. Yo. So, and another thing they say, who said sometimes you will be on your Eden you are utim say, especially these days, no. And I say, you utim say, Fibu utim say, that watch. Yana will see bisa question one, be at that market check. Yana or ye be also bisa question one because I will see who the reason why you are that market check. Yana say, Bibia say, one, you intina, Ayana da one, a Bibia, Yana, I will say, ye worried, Anna, Bibisa, and I say, ye concern, and see two fina say, even though Bua Yakuma, Musi Mubi Blue Honoma, ye koto. Nye film kwa ikoto bibi wonuma ye the emotions a chain and what is wakuma them pa but so teams if you be ada wache ya na ye bibi wo say a little bit concern ho ana.
But that's a good question. Yes and no, right? Sometimes yes, it's lying on the market because it's a problem, right? Sometimes it's lying on the market because the home is in good condition, but ABR one the home is overpriced. And as I said, the home can stay on the market for so many reasons. Say, depending on Ibo cry a tenant in the team. The time cry a person could have you know tenant in the crown or Mahokwan. Why so restrictive? As I say, a boss scran.
Mekɔ adwuma. Obviously beto fie no.
You fear it mean you say, and I say, a boss who are Nami Fansa Macrane be a couples, either our for and I say, you know, friends are all to feel. Baako person or ton, baako person or ton. Into it was a baako no home hindrance, open so on person baby. A boss who are if you better market will be at the contractor. Down the road, they be you will close down into 5 weeks. 4 weeks, not alone, and go through. Until right away, the home need to come back on the market. In 2 ways, I come on the market already. The house has recorded 30 days on the market already. Until there can be so many factors why a home is lying on the market, and not necessarily say it's a problematic home.
Okay, and yeah, that means yeah, no kwan was here. Because you move Brian who says as especially these days now house better than econo. Actually, Brian, there are so many factors in terms of I was here find out. The next question I can maybe say, my question say, yeah, I will see bisa say the reason here nipa no ton fi nana. And no see, yeah, question because sometimes you might not know also who the reason why out because if you are full on what you say BBI come. It yana will see who reason and see who reason BB or see they can't defa ho make a decisions and
But as Nana, I think it's a very valid question that I've got it all the time. Alex, why is this person selling the home? Which the answer, there's no straight answer. And in terms of Yenia system here, selling and buying is part of the American economy because even the government themselves, they love it when it comes to buying and selling because what is it doing? It's creating employment.
Taxes involved.
Because I can assure you, say, one home now, who to fee, no. Why didn't say who to fee, now who to fee. But when Metnasa may list it, if you're back one, you're the two marketer, the employment equity in the economy, you'll be amazed. From lawyers to Oma Prepra, even a denim. And selling in Ankasana is one thing to promote the economy, but there are thousands of reasons why people sell their home. And it's the same thing, and not necessarily say the home is bad. Yes, it can be said the home is bad. Maybe a basement ground a flooded from time to time. Or fix ya, and meeting officer, you know what, I'm tired of this place. Let me sell it. But if there's a major problem that happening in the home, like basement attack flooding, now wa fix ya. Virginia in the past, we were really required to say, you have to disclose if you know any material fact about a property in Virginia. But recently, that law has been scrapped. In Virginia now, we call it a buyer be aware. Buyer be aware. Until now, say you did not want a contract, especially existing homes. We have a disclosure form. It discloses, it gives you a website about say, hey, you're right, go look for this. And that's where the home inspector comes in. But some of the things like if you're flood there, since you are fixing one now, how do you determine? The inspector can go there or all the equipment, but to test here. The wall is not moisture. And in this case, in Soko flood there, it doesn't necessarily mean that the inspector is bad. It doesn't necessarily that your relative was bad because if you flood here, right? They can see it. Or even if there was a mold behind the walls, you can see it. Maybe a flood and a consume mold, or man fixing mold, and on my dry wall. So one for mold specialist. Let me repeat. So person who tests that there's a mold in the house. You can not just rely on just a home inspector. The home inspector is licensed to inspect the home in and out 100%. They are not licensed as a mold testers. If you want to know that there's a wall in anywhere in the home, then you have to invest in one. It's just like lead paint, the same thing. If you want to see, say, there's lead in a home, which any home that was constructed before 1978, there is a possibility, say, they use a lead paint, 1 point. It doesn't necessarily say there's a lead in the house. But if it's a concern to you, then you have to invest into one. It's just like same thing with plumbing. If you are afraid, oh, if you were see hatchet, can it be said this plumbing system and be a blockade? Then you want to invest into that money. Say after the home inspection, now you hire a plumbing specialist who have special cameras that they will go there to trace all the pipelines to see say the drainages are clear. And there are so many components that one need to invest money in. But the truth is, some of these are make us special drain pipes are blocked here. Barely does it happen that American animal or pipe be blocked. Can it happen? Of course, yes. But barely does it happen. So I've not even heard anybody say, oh, Alex, let's go inspect the drain or that kind of thing. But yes, people who are concerned sometimes request that we get, how do you call it, some of these mold specialists to test for mold behind the walls. However, Maryland is different. Maryland, they are very strict. The law is there. And when I write contract in Maryland, it's a lot of paperwork compared to Virginia because Maryland still requires that any material fact you declare. If you don't declare it and you hide it and nipani tofu, you know, not something pop up, not they are able to make assertion and say, yes, you knew it and you didn't disclose her, they can see you big time and you be problem, money and government is going to cost a lot of money. In Maryland, they declare
cost license.
not a license. Because to Maryland and African method there, you are the one, the homeowner, yes, you know.
Okay. You know, your friend say seller no mumna.
Seller
one disclose, you know. Okay, good.
Yes, and seller no Virginia law and we the agent when I'm going to list a home, I give the seller a form that they need to disclose every material fact.
Every material, okay.
Material fact. Even the problem near physical now, they have to tell me. So, oh, some time ago, the basement, you know, it flat. Oh, some time ago, the toilet here and a bust. We fix it. Yeah, this close. And in this case, now, that's a pipe I won't mean sue them because they told you some time ago a pie no more fix it. That is that on that. That is where in terms of it, they're very important.
And I'm saying we fairness and you could deep now. You might be roy a funny trasa, you told you funny trasa, say this and was see a father cry. My next question will be a question be a waiting there two chats and still Facebook or your friends saying YouTube I'll be team there two or joining so I'll be team you sue we're not link now on so joining question be a waiting there but next maybe Sana say your friend saying the next question is the location prone to natural disaster? And no better than you is this something I know so no or Cecil Anoma when I said that location no prone to natural disaster bisana.
I mean that question in particular now is a tricky one. But the good news is especially your East Coast and most part of let's say Northern Virginia, DMV area, I think we have been blessed with very good weather. In terms of which everybody, if tornado and I say BBS here, we're all going to know, right? And in this area now, we don't really worry. And even most importantly, so auto insurance, this area, no, we don't buy flood insurance.
Yes.
Because we are not in the flood area. There might be one or few homes, depending on how it was constructed with years now. Sometimes when it rains, they get flood in their basement. I know a specific area in, let's say Alexandra, Huntington Metro side, all the time. It's always been the problem there. I don't know whether it's a drainage problem or something. Anytime there's any heavy rain, the whole area no get flooded. And that specific area needs will be there. Whoever is the agent representing them, and I say, if with time, the insurance company have gotten say for file claim when it rains, automatically that specific area they will ask them to buy flood insurance. But overall, in our area, DMV area, most places are not in a hazardous area. And that is what I would say. And in that case, the person because we see material fact, whether there is out of God. And you cannot because where there's adverse weather now, people who are moving there, unless I mean what now say, oh, me kwa koto dan ewo certain part of South, which you and I know say part of South no tornadoes any F1 near the do. Nti wo no want na ho na ni mo bia ho na so koto fie right away there. Well,
you have to do your research.
You have to do your research. But other than that, the area had it's safe to say adverse weather there. No, even the same thing I can say even with flood that we have a lot of buried basement in our area, but you barely see basement even flooding unless some pump fails.
The next question I may be Sane say, hey, I'm up for you once a month to move for more questions in the bra. Next question, say, Yana, is it good see a what comes with the house? Because if you go on my to go crano, near me can't a unhunina, near a chin of a catcher say be a BBC income. Yana, you good say you who say any money in Anna.
That is, this is a very good question you are really asking. And you cannot make assumption, right? In that if if some of the anything in real estate, anything that is touched to the house is automatically assumed is coming with the house. But if something is not touched to the house, like Major Office, what I mean, there's a nice bookcase. It is that bookcase we say now say even say more to Kurana. This is not something that came with the house. Nti say your friend say bia buyer no you have to ask your agent, hey, Mr. Miss, please can you ask them that bookcase in that office is he staying? Right? You cannot just assume until you find out. Into anything that as a buyer when you walk at your home, now you see it's not a structure, something that is really part of the structure. You have to ask.
Of the structure.
You have to ask. But sometimes most good agent will do a good job, right? We do what's called conveyances. In a remark now, when the boy I trust say, hey, wash and dryer is not conveying. If you run over
that question.
That crystals in the dining room, the crystals in the dining room is not conveying. Even though online we capture nice. So I see if it's not convenient, I have the original one, the other one. Also be to know the no hangable. And as I said, me too, I'm in hangable. It's very important that you don't just assume that everything you see in the house is staying with it.
Yo, bro, question you hanum. Me about could be say in case you are denied of being on a house on first time attempt, what is the time frame you search for another one? I think say when you say deny the house, I guess it be a mortgage, it be a when mortgage. So in case you are denied of buying a house as a first time, no, what try when you time ben also time frame ben also Timmy chance and was start as such.
That's a very good question. So there are so many reasons. There's no a timeline because the question is why were you denied? Because there must be some causes why you are denied, and there there might be numerous reasons stemming from anything like one, maybe you didn't have the qualifying credit score, or two, your DTI was high, and so you want to buy 500,000 home, and they say you can only qualify for 400, and so it becomes like a deny, but it's not a deny. It's just that one month you qualify with taste, right? And also say maybe you were not able, they qualify you, but you were not able to source all your fundings. And also say anything like will be crowded to me, which now I educate people a lot. You can't believe what people can do. You're qualifying a loan. No? Now, along the way, now, wasanko toka. Wakotoka without the knowledge of the realtor, neither the loan officer. And whatever bounce not hiccup, never inclusive, right? And so there are so many reasons why one would deny. But also now I've also gotten clients that one bank has denied them and they come to me and I'm able to get them loan right away. So there are so many reasons why. And some of the reasons, yes, you have to wait for a while. Maybe you have to put the condition right. Or credit, well, you need to talk to somebody who is knowledgeable, help you clean your credit and bring it up. If baby no akoto na ma DT akosura a car, do you have
no,
that route is difficult. One of the things that is common, I'm going to share it here, is do you have a family member who can buy this car from you temporary, right? Sell it to them. And once you sell it, and I'm saying this not just say one more process, set your plans out over to fee, but okay, just 18 to make a no. It's legal. You have a family member, a friend, plead with them, sell the car to them temporary, so that it can give you more buying power. Yep, you finish, you just turn around and you buy it back. There are so many options that is there for you. It's just a matter of being in the right hands and doing your research and all that.
To say me tiwa, they can say, and yes, it be a denial by a one with taste. Sky open, it be a way in mountain because of maybe DTI. So there are so many factors. In terms of send a channel, many about him say was so share the condition now on the entire be a denial because if you are not say train be bree, if you are so can be the next person who am let me aboa. Yo, hey, and be about is not.
And another quick one, I
Minya, your friends are Kwabna Hammy, and Edward about was if I come to you, can I get 3 million? Saro, dear, 3 million, the minibi, which is okay, Cramina Biama. You broke us.
Right, it's a quick one at the back one, me can say, once one, then you say low credit scores, but late payment. And you may and you know, anyone my baby till you have to be very, 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 very conscious about paying your bills on time. Because especially on conventional loan, they are a little bit lenient. But on FHA loan, especially those of us who have student loans, you cannot be late on any government loan and qualify for government, product. It's very important because some lenders are like, if you have a government loan, student loan, or later, you have to come out of that late payment for 12 months. And some
was all trained for
the 12 months, no? Yes, and then one of the also things is that Sancho Bonso or Fie Dada. And why you late? So we late in Swa or loan Swa. It doesn't matter whether FHA or conventional or every lender wants you to come out of that late payment for 12 months. And so you'll be able to buy your next home.
Okay.
Those are some of the factors that it can also affect somebody, maybe if they have a home and they are late in the past 6 months, the reason why they can be denied.
Your quick one, your question back about the quick one, follow up on the other one. I'm say we explain we kakra ba so explain kakra bi ka ho. I'm say na manfo nyamba so bebre. Debt DTI no I'm say obese explain kakra bi. Say o shada explain kakra bi. What is DTI? Na on frontier say.
DTI debt to income. Usika woji. Ene woka wodie.
Ka wodie.
Enti say enti na me ye example bi say me na na akoto fie na make 60,000 a year, so make 60. Your bank na bank na beka say na you be ma loan no 300,000. Wo ales you be ma 250. Ni nkyire mu nyina ne say ales wo ho ka doso. Enti that's the DTI. Enti so wo ho ka wo form a na say we make more money there fine. Enti no the ambassador me tell say wo pese wo to fie enmanim anase mfie baako mienu miensa de wanim a wo say wo hwe wo ka wo de ho yiye. Say wo nso aka ngu so. Titrum ka obi okra efie no nya nkoto okra na ọhyase etoto ho nyoma gudam efie mfu nya nkoto ye nti wono ma ho so na won so
asa ka woto na ka wutua de anka ba bia na asa de akwa ka wo ka no ho
se de me kana na ye ka de a
ka ka ne ka na ha
ye se ka ya nka se cash right it's any very important say anuanom all seriousness and as a wo ko wonu so beto dan so ho hia say obi meka nje say owudi wo ko san keke ko san wa adwun papa ontum pese mo bo ankofo yes mo mo awo mo
bo biem
but say wo yes wo ko akotofie no manim nya me pacho enko nkoko san ne efie emfa ma obi anase nkoko san ne ka emfa ma obi it doesn't mean say ebesi ho kwan ena de ba ko so ampese me kire say tem bia nso so a wo dachi say even 2 years 3 years 4 years from now na so pese ubeto fia uko sani bibia mobia make sure say nipa obetua if I say nipa odi no kra make sure say nipa na nkasa ntua free na account because ukoko sani even a dime obi na nipa na tua free na account na emre so say wo to wo de a say or the bank statement ba 12 months e be kire say 12 for the past 12 months no yes unless ko sani manana but nana na tua free na account ma they don't count it against me. With me, so income, editor fee. Whether a car, any kind of debt, student know anything. Into me pacho, so who cosani lo amobia, na wa cosan lo amobia. Now unto fee, and now if you can now plans of us to fear. Make sure say going forward, the person pays the monthly installment from their own account. So that once you show the 12 months now, they are able to give you a bypass. Anya sa anakas o minyini ni nti first can brem no ntua unfortunately on beka say wodia nti you are not going to get a bypass. That is what I would say.
Yo, I'm say question bi wa ha. Be ba enya ayi enya rate amehwe. I'm say no na me de ba no. No asisen. Or question bi we dey brief one ba ko bi ho no man pese e fa ne fa we brief. Or say enya ba or say say kra or say hope say Maryland resident obetimi ato a dan e Virginia. And what is the lowest income you can use to acquire a home with a great interest? Maryland and vice versa. Waiting at dan or Virginia now.
Was it the lowest income?
I know you have question one and question two here. What is the lowest income you can use to acquire a home with a great interest?
Well, there's no lower there's no any lower lowest income or highest income. Any at every level of your income, Biana, you are going to qualify for something. But the question is that
you qualify for 5,000 cry.
That is what it is. If there's a home there that you can buy for 5,000, there's no anybody like I don't qualify for anything. There's nothing on that books. Sometimes you hear it, almost even qualify for because the idea is of a 300,000 fee and almost 200. And the reality is in this market now, getting 200,000. Can you find one? Yes. What kind of home are you finding 200,000? And what is the condition? Right? So there's no a minimum income that one qualify for a home or a maximum. What I can tell you is that for the grant programs Now me can want some now. There's a cap.
I mean, question
There's no minimum. There's no minimum for a grant program, either through the bank, the community, the state, or anything. There's no minimum income, but there's a max income. Like I know for sure, so for the Virginia housing, for individual, I think you need to make, under 100,000 to qualify for the grant. For two people, you can make more than 120. For more than 130. For family of three or more, you cannot make more than 151,000. That is the last time I checked. I may be wrong because as home prices goes up and the cost of living goes up now, they adjust it all the time. Until can be say adjusting but right. And yes, in terms of grant now, there's a limit that one is capped, but in terms of minimum, there isn't. Depending on which of the grant you are going for now, sometimes unfortunately people don't qualify for. Sister Gloria has a question here. Can you see it in the chat?
I'm back out once you finish the question. Wait, said Maryland resident will be to down with Virginia now.
No. When there any problem at all. Vice versa. Anywhere, wherever you are, you can buy a home in every state. So, but the caveat is two things are going to happen. One, it has to either investment home, which is going to require 20. There's no limitation. But when it comes to primary home, that is where the tricky come, right? Because me, Juma requires me to be in New York. Now, me see me told me primary home, Maryland. It's going to be a top sell for the bank. The bank knows that right away. And your primary home now, auto investment.
Auto investment.
Also one, when you low interest rate. Two, also low down payment at all.
In that situation, you say me a resident of Virginia, Maryland, but me a Virginia. That's me told down Virginia. They are sending
yes, and it's okay, good. Because we're they are not going to question your motive, because me right? But a man said, "Wonya ejuma honest ejuma no so require you." Maryland, Virginia, is okay. It's a community. Even Delaware, Krana, you can claim. Say, look, me say me person me talk me primary home or Delaware. Virginia. I can commute.
And as obvious.
But if I can commute, I mean, we know that our now president was commuting from Delaware to
Delaware.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Okay. So the other question about if you don't qualify for any grant as a first-time home buyer, is there a possibility you will get some grant when you buy a second home? That's question one. And the question two was if you try to pay more down payment. Okay, in fact, question one we need finance and say difference.
Yeah, so why first time buyer and answer, because the word is first time. And once you become a second home, you're out of the grant. However, I have one banker. There's this exception. Let's say own new home. And if you know what now what's our for one more grant and they give $10,000. So far as you win now, they will still going to give you the grant, even though you are not a first-time buyer. But so like I said, who hold on to finish the amount farmer because who when you and I would be your business. Now then you sum $10,000 for free. And the answer is no.
Okay, now question the other one is say if you try to pay more down, I believe down payment while paying your mortgage, or more down paying your mortgage, would that decrease your monthly mortgage payment? Absolutely no. Yes, and you know, there be when I would say Usikano abroad so until they can create 200. Nemum would then I would person would share in term now monthly payment in the idea a change, you know.
That's what it is. You are just reducing your interest rate out in a month.
Yes. Your friend say that's on the West Kakro or say MC a time now so I don't know that may riff crash time. That was say Tani I say what to qualify for. Was here say we qualify for a yibo. You be qualify for mobile home. Was it mobile home now qualify 5,000 there the better. You wait here for.
About
There was a time crowd so bro. It was 2 minutes per. Tino. For never to Jana for let me get in touch with you because you hear experience. Na yenu mo woso mo sani we na yenya ntiase say it will be obetimi aboa ya me atumi ato edan yi yenko
Medase nana wo etiefo emere a mode asutie mu amu so ni mu ambetie later but quick one ade ba kwan na de bi ampesa meka ho asem quick one radon radon toxic gases are is enclosed in the home. I know sir even not just American for even abroad fita nyina will be so what is radon and they say what are you talking about? Adibia and the number 1 lung cancer in the United States. Into your stress obi a wo fie watching more than 1 year 2 years. The EPA recommendation is every 2 years you test it for radon, and if the levels are more than 4.0, you have to request to put in mitigation system. Into that is one of the things that I want to throw in out there, because a lot of people are getting sick from this. They don't even know say or no one if you know timono and esa cause no harm. And I know me the Alex Admakwe Champion. My phone number is 703-577-0872. 7 days a week between 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also we email me Alex a Champion together one word that S as Sam P as a Paul at gmail.com. On all the social media, so wait to me and search me. On TikTok, Alex the Realtor, all the major social media, Alex Admako, the champion. You will find me there. Email me, text me, and Namin Shirao for the opportunity to come to your way once again this evening.
that's it. And then your friend say Sister Rita, Dan, Gloria, Sophia, Lambert, any other baby. Hey, you ready for me? Kwabna, and then your friend say Patrick, Mon Gideon, Queer, Barnes, and then Precious, and the more muti na na. Thank you for joining. Na yema we nye bibi sele meka na yema so ma yenua no no mu na ntia se se yema yensisi yesa biem now you obi we corner obetimi aboa yen ama thanks for all for your contributions too. Kwabra 3 million de mini bi te so kakra brafo na mintimi hia e wo kwa wu. Yo, so make sure say you spend wisely, save intentionally, and give generously. A month to say now, and I say every 3rd week of the month, Monday, 7 to 9 p.m. Sikasem. It is siho. You ask where you know who am I? It is siho. Bibi baby awajai. For housing questions about housing. One country muniano na anemona phone some country say every Thursday every Monday, 3rd Monday of the month, 7 to 9 p.m. Sikasem or High Life Radio. The host, Patrik Barfi, and a bishop. Bye bye.
Good night.